Hey, welcome back to the channel. It's CJ here. I'm back with another cool piece of surreal collage art that I've been working on. Now, again, I skipped the tedious process because I didn't really know if I was going to be putting it together like this. So I was just cutting up a bunch of stuff and just kind of wondering how I was going to make this piece. I was inspired by a few pictures that I saw inside of this. What is it? It's a ladies' home journal from 1955. Now, this magazine, that makes that magazine 70 years old. So these pictures are all from a 70-year-old magazine. And I thought this one was really funny and I just wanted to put it together real quick, but I wasn't really sure what was going to happen. And so I was cutting them all up. I saved y'all the process because it took me a long time to figure out what I was going to do. So I just got to cutting, just got to putting stuff together to see how it was going to fall together. And then I put it together under this piece of paper. That's why I'm blocking it. I don't want to show it to y'all right now. And then there's a few other key pieces that's going to go to this, but we have to do all the gluing. So I figured I'd bring y'all in on the gluing because with all the cutting, like I said, I do the triangles. I try to incorporate the triangles. So I was cutting all these triangles, and here soon I'll incorporate the triangles into my videos, like the triangle cutting, but it's kind of a long process. So I figured I'd put it all out and then we can glue it in together, and then we could drop the main pieces together, and then we could drop it in the frame. I think I have the frame over here. I think it's just going to be a funny piece. I don't know who would hang this on their wall, but it doesn't really matter. We're going to have fun here on the channel either way, whether someone would hang it on their wall or not. So what I'm going to do is show you what I'm working on. Here it is. I know it looks crazy. It is wild. There's a lot happening here. Again, this is from the Ladies' Home Journal, 1955, 70-year-old magazine. And these are all pieces that I cut up together. They're from different pages and different parts of the magazine. And I wanted to pull in all this food and just incorporate it like this. Now, I know it looks wild right now, and the picture's going to be wild. So this is kind of it all laid out. What I need to do is glue all these pieces down. So I need to go and glue these pieces one by one and put it together, and then we'll be able to drop our other pieces on top of it to make it all make sense. But it's definitely going to be pretty funny, so you should stick around to the end and check out what this turns out like. So what we're going to do is go ahead and start gluing these triangles, and I kind of have them placed how I want just for the colors. Some of it's going to be covered. We just got to understand that some of it's going to be covered at the end. And then I do have some scraps just in case we need to fix up some of the edges. There's not enough picture there because I know we kind of do want to overlap them so we don't have the white in the background. That's always the tricky part. So we'll just see how this goes. Let's start one at a time, and we'll just kind of go and glue this whole thing up, and then it'll all come together. There's just one piece there's a couple pieces right at the end that will bring this all together real funny. And I thought, oh, see this glue stick, here we go. Trying to figure out these glue sticks still, but just trying to make these cool funny pieces of surreal collage art. This one's really funny. I think in my mind it's just a funny one. I just saw the picture and I was like, oh, I have to do that. I have to make that one of the pictures. I should have measured the center point here before doing this one because I can't really tell with those because they're all loose. Guess it doesn't really matter as long as we don't glue one in. It's going to be all kind of offset center anyway, so not a huge deal there. We're just going to maybe spread these out just a little bit more now. We just want to know where they go, but we need a little space so we don't glue on top of each other here. So we'll just keep doing that, and we'll just kind of go up the pyramid. You know, they say a triangle is the strongest structure, but I don't know about this meal. This is probably not from the food pyramid, but it is from the 50s. So this is a bunch of food from the 50s magazine. This magazine is over, what did I say? Not over, it's exactly 70 years old. So that's pretty old, but the color's still cool. I still like the color of this. This is what probably made it pop in my mind. I was like, oh, the color still looks good, and I'm going to add all these pieces in here, and it's just going to make it colorful and fun. And this one's funny. It's not serious like a few, it just depends on the piece. It can be serious. It can have a more serious meaning. This one can have a funny meaning. I don't have a name for this one yet, but I know what it's going to look like because I laid it all out here and started trying to put it together just to see how it was going to work. Because again, I didn't really know what was going to happen. So we're just gonna put it all together and then see how it works. These are all different food. It looks like that's like potato salad right there. And then there's also these pieces that were kind of have food in them, but they're like from a party, and it'll make sense, just, well, I don't know if it'll make sense, it's kind of one of those where it's up to interpretation on what you think. I'm just going to keep gluing these and put them together and show you the end part at the end. So you definitely want to stick around to the end because that's where it all comes together. Right now it just looks like a bunch of triangles of different food. The food pyramid, but 50s, maybe the 50s food pyramid, we'll call it something like that. Not sure. If you got a name suggestion, you could drop it in the comments. I'll probably already have it named before the video goes live, but see, that one's leaving white gaps in it, and I don't know why. Maybe the triangle's cut a little different. So since that's the case, I'm going to pull the triangle down a little bit. And we've kind of fought that battle before. Nope, I don't like where that's landing. Oops, we gotta watch out. So why is it giving us so much white? So much white. I guess it doesn't matter if it shows the white a little bit, but this one must be cut different. I mean, they're all kind of cut different. I'm just kind of running through them and cutting them, so it's never perfect, and the other one might just be tilted a little bit. So I'm trying to maybe tilt it back this way and see. I guess that's not horrible. That'll do. Get it down. We're gonna have to start stacking those, and that's where I have some extra pieces if in case there's white on the edges if these don't fit, because the triangle's almost matched to the side. Yeah, you could see that there's still just a little gap of it right there, and this one seems a little big, and it's okay. The triangles don't need to be perfect on there. I'm gonna see if I can just put that down. That probably wasn't a good idea. All right, so yeah, you could see we're off to the side. So we're off to one side, but that's okay because it's going to be lopsided when the thing goes on the top. It's meant to be weird and wacky anyway. It wasn't meant to be centered out or anything imperfect like that. But we don't really want the white in the background, so we will try to just overlap a little bit, which we've done in some of our other pieces with the triangles. It's tricky because all the triangles are getting cut, and how was the side of the page? Was that the side of the book, or was that the side that got cut? So it's a little tricky to know if it's a straight edge or not. And, it can be kind of straight with that X-Acto knife, but cutting with the X-Acto knife's not always exact. Yeah, so there's going to be a little white in there. I could see some right there. And I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not going to worry about it. Actually, I think that part's going to get covered up right there, so not going to try to repeal it or anything, but maybe when we get a little up higher, we're going to maybe try to overlap them a little more, like right there on top of that one, because I know that spot's going to get seen a little bit more compared to the others. Now, this part, got to watch out here. It's going to want to, uh-oh. Better watch out what I'm doing there because going to mess up all the other pages. But with this one, it's going to have glue. And the folding stuff has not been so great. It kind of makes it... I don't want to lose all that, though. I don't know. I don't want to get glue on the table, though. I should have thought of that when I did it. It's not perfect cut, but I'm not going to fold it because it's going to start messing stuff up. All right, I'm already messing it all up, but I kind of wanted it how I had it. Just as long as we can remember where each piece goes. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It's not exact. It's just kind of random. Obviously, look at the picture. It's not like it was meant to be perfect or anything. But, we'll try to make it as nice as we can because it's real funny. I think it's a real funny one. I really like these magazines. I like these, what is it, Ladies Home Journal. It's just like, they're really cool and they're bigger. They're bigger magazines. I have a bunch of them. I actually have a haul that I'm gonna be recording soon of them, but this is an older one that I already had. But I have a haul of them that I haven't even had a chance to go through, so I'm gonna go through them with you guys together. And uh-oh, see, that's just a little bit over. And we'll just go ahead and try to trim. See, I'm left-handed again, but cutting with my left hand, not very good at doing that. It's just weird. Okay, I have a little scrap pile over here. There we go. Go in there. Keep moving this all around. Try not to mess it up. But I wonder what food that was. Those look like little cut sausages, and I forget. It's like corn or something in the background. It's like that's some weird cream corn. Like the meals in the 50s were really funny in the magazine. And I was cutting out things like spam and stuff like that, like the mustard. Oh, there I go again, gluing more than I need to. Gotta think what I'm doing when I do it, because that's gonna glue right on the table. Go ahead and try to slice and dice that. Yeah, so I have some that's like spam. They're like the spam and Cracker Jacks and stuff like that that were popular at the times. And I was gonna incorporate those, but then the colors were just not vibrant enough for what I was really going for. So I started working on this piece. Let me go ahead and line this one up. And then where is it? Like it's about there. So I only need like that much of it. Try to remember that next time. Only glue what's really necessary, because these are all hanging over, and I could probably save these till the end so I don't really worry about my pattern here. But I already have this one, so I'll lay it down now. I don't have to worry about it getting glue on the table, so I can come trim it in a bit. Same with this one. It looks like right about there we'll get it. Then we could always come and flip up the flap too and glue a little under it on the edge if I don't get it so close to the edge. But, you know, yeah, I could see that that one with the bloom was just all cut off. And that might have been one of my scrap pieces, but it looked cool and it made it in there because it has the balloon in it and you can see it's like a party. Now, like I said, it'll make sense, but it won't make sense. I don't know. It doesn't make sense. It's a real funny one, but you know, like I've been saying in my past videos, I'm trying to incorporate some triangles. I like messing around with the triangles and making them all in different shapes and angles, that they're coming the same shape, but different angles of where they actually land, because then it's like bringing things together that wouldn't have been together. Like I could take the triangle and bring the stuff perfectly together, but then that wouldn't make it all abstract-y looking. So I brought that one down, and now with these, I want to try to maybe match that bottom like that. So let me try to do that before we move up higher. I think it goes to about there. So we'll just put some glue on this part and not the whole part. Try not to get this sticky glue. This stuff is real sticky, but I always end up putting too much of it. And it can rip your paper. It can catch to your paper. So that's kind of messing up our design. We're going to maybe need those extras at the top because I had to do some overlapping there that I wasn't really planning on doing. And even that one, well, I'm not going to pull it now. Yeah. Face it. Shoot. See, you kind of need to pull it up because it's angled weird. It's got a weirder angle. It's hard to see what's straight now that it's not perfectly in line with the other one. Feels like maybe I should go with a sharper angle up with it, just so there's no white left behind when this one goes on it. Oh, is there a fly in here? Marty McFly, he done snuck into my place. Let's go get this one down. I think a little bit of that edge hangs over, but be okay because I don't think it's a lot on this one. There goes that motorcycle again. I wonder if it's the same motorcycle he's just always driving by. It's nice outside. I don't blame him driving his motorcycle. It's a good day for that. Okay, we're making our way up to the top. We're trying to make our way to the top here. Let's see, of the triangle pyramid, the food pyramid, the 50s food pyramid. That might be the name for it. It's kind of funny. I don't know what the name will be. You'll have to see what it's gonna look like. I don't know what you'd call this. I really don't know who would put this on their wall. Somebody, a fun person would. That's who would do it. Someone who is fun or really wanted to support our channel here. That's who would do that. Okay, we're gonna get this down just a bit and overlap, so we'll have a little bit of white gaps there. These are like those sausage links. My mom used to always get those from Costco back in the day. They'd just be like these little tiny sausages, and you just heat them up in the little pot. And us boys would just destroy those. We would just smash those little sausages. I haven't had those in a long time. I wonder if they still sell them. They probably do. I don't have a Costco membership, so I don't know. These now were placed differently. So they were placed in a different type of triangle pattern, which some of this is going to be covered. And now we see we have a whole gap of white at the top. So we're going to have to deal with that somehow. And I knew I kept the scraps for a reason. Kept these weird cut triangles in case of that right there. Let's start with these two triangles. And everything but the corner here. Well, this glue, I wonder if I'm running out. You know, the thing about this glue, it keeps feeling like I'm running out, and I keep pulling it up more, but I have not ran out. This is the same glue stick I've used on a bunch of pieces, so maybe it lasts longer. I can't really compare to the other one that I was using, because that one still hasn't ran out either, so we'll try to center it up. There's no white gaps. Cool. I know we're going to start covering some of this eventually. Okay, we'll take this one. It's just supposed to be a fun, funny picture. So what I've been doing with these magazines is cutting out a whole bunch of extra stuff, because when you're going through them, they're just so big and there's so many cutouts that are just like so cool. Like, man, I could use that for something, or somebody could use it. And that's where I kind of been coming up with the concept of like, if I don't use it, maybe I can make little bags that people could use, because most people don't have magazines like I have. They don't have tons and tons of magazines like I have. So they don't have access to all the pictures. Now, you could go buy a magazine or two and start collaging and making collage art, but you would not have access to all of the cool pictures that I have. Now, I can only use so much, I can only make so many of these. So passing it along, maybe even selling them, put them in little bags and sell them off with different styles, because I have cars, I have sports, I have a bunch of others styles. I have these old fashioned magazines. I have like old Hollywood type of magazines. Just some crazy stuff that you wouldn't normally find, because I'm always looking for old and vintage magazines. That one got a little rip, but right there it's going to get cut off. So I knew that that piece was kind of ripped, and so I know I'm going to just cut that piece off. So we're all good there. This piece, yeah, see, that's weird. I did that one at that angle. Let's see. Why isn't it at this angle? I think I was just throwing them together, so it didn't really matter. But if I do that, then this side is going to need a piece. I like the party piece a little better with the record player right there. And then this is just like a little bit of that potato salad there. So we'll figure that out. Let's go and get these guys down. Get these guys down. But yeah, so since I've been cutting up so much stuff, I was thinking about bagging them up, putting them in different like little style pouches, and maybe selling them. Something that I've also been considering, since I have so many magazines, and it's like I go through them and I can't cut them all up. Some of them are really nice, and I'd like to sell some, but I don't want to like sell them on the face space marketplace, like that's kind of silly. Like, I don't want to sell them in there, because first off, you're not going to get even close to what people don't understand the value of them. And then I could sell them on eBay or something, but then you have the whole shipping scenario, and magazines are heavy to ship, you know, like they get real heavy. They're heavy to store, they're heavy to ship as well. And that's something that I've been dealing with or thinking of, and I've sold some online, and so I have some for sale that are just like expensive because it's like I was gonna cut them up and then realized how expensive it was, and I was like, oh, I can't cut that magazine up. I mean, even though it's in rough shape, people would pay for that magazine, so I have it for sale, and there's already people watching it. But I have separate videos on that magazine specifically, but some of my like sports magazines and stuff like that, they're like there's a million of them out there, you know, like there's a million of them out there. The ones that I see all the time that we're not going to review on this channel is all the boy magazines. So the play ones that people find everywhere, and they are vintage and they're old, but we're not going to, you know, mess around with YouTube with any of that stuff. I do have some other magazines where more like swimsuit magazines and stuff, but any of that, you know, adult stuff, we're not going to put on this channel because we don't want any problems with YouTube or anything else saying stuff about that. And trying to make it family friendly. Like this one's definitely family friendly. This one's funny right here, but you know, magazines can go all types of directions, and I like all types, but those are kind of pushing the limit. But it seems like people really try to, or I don't know if they're really collecting them or they all thought they'd be collectible, but they're everywhere. I see them all for sale everywhere. Everybody has those ones for sale, and I'm not really trying to get those ones. It's not really my vibe anyway, so I'm cool with it. I'm sure a bunch of them are going to fall into my lap somehow, and I'll take them. I'll take them. If they're free, I'll take them, but I'm not going to pay. And people try to act like they're worth gold and stuff, and it's like, you know what? Looking at those pictures ain't gold to me, so I don't know. I don't need a bunch of those around. Probably half of the pages are stuck together. Ha ha. You know what I mean. But I'm not in the market for those, and plus I can't really sell those in my packets, and I'm not really gonna put that kind of stuff in my collages, so it's kind of a waste. I don't really need to, and you know, they don't tickle my fancy where to look through them. So there's the other problem with it. Now this is just a line. I mean, it's going to be a line there. We have a little triangle top right there. Let's go ahead and do it just to get it down, and then we'll trim it all up, and we're getting there. We're getting to the top. Getting to the top. So I'm just talking to you guys about some stuff that I'm working on. Why we knock these out, because this is the, you know, and imagine the cutting. Like this is a lot, but the cutting is a lot more. I cut all these triangles from different pieces out of the magazine. They're not all just from one piece or anything. I just cut them out. I, you know, was getting them in squares, and then I'll cut them out in different shapes like that. So that's kind of, it's a lot of cutting, and I don't really know what I'm using at that point. And it's just a time consuming thing when I don't even know what's actually happening. So this one has the party hat. I know you're not going to see that part. So how do I want to do this? If I lined it up here, it covers that white over here and this, and then I start putting some more over there. You're not going to really actually see this because of the picture frame, but you know, we don't like to leave stuff unturned, you know. We'll just say from, oh, right where I put the glue is where I don't need the glue. All right, well, we'll do it anyway. Oh, now I'm putting it all over the thing, and I don't even need that either. Let me get it to the edge because I'm gonna need to like cut this off or fold it. Yep, see, I have to come down on that one a bit because of where, oh, now there's no glue where we need the glue. Well, ain't that just how it works? Jeez. Jeez Louise. I gotta cut this one off though. Let me see. I need to see it. Right there. Where'd that piece go? Let me see where you went. Now I need to get this piece off because it has glue on it. There's that piece. Don't you be sticking. That's all stuck now. Okay. This one, we did have glue on it, and it has that messed up corner. So, I don't know. We'll use it if we need to use it. Oh, look at that bread. We'll use the bread. That should get us a little further down the line. It had this weird fruit on the back of it. I thought that was funny. There I go. Gluing the whole thing again. Fun times. Fun times. Yeah. Okay. So, don't know why I keep doing that, but I guess because I think I'm still just on a roll trying to get them all the way up to the top. But I'm not. I don't need all the whole thing glued up. So I guess I could wait for it to dry, or I could just try to cut it. And we'll have to probably come and fine tune the cut here closer towards the end. But we're getting there. We're getting there. Oh, look. Maybe we did want the glue. Look at that. Glue it up. Still didn't need it all glued, but it's just helping us. I know that this part's going to get covered up here anyway, which is the funny part. We're getting close. We're getting close. So hopefully you stuck around this far to see what it's going to look like, because the funny part is still yet to come. The fun and funny part. How are we going to... That's such a small little piece. Such a small little piece, but you know me. I can't leave the little white gap. I always do that. I always fill it in because I just want it to be a full piece, just in case you do take it out of the frame or look at it. We don't need all that stuff. And that's a weird triangle right there, but I think that part will stick. Oh, it went under that piece. Okay. And is everything else covered? Yes, it looks like it is. So now you can see what the back looks like of just this crazy dangles here. We're just going to go down the line and cut all these off. Now, usually I fold them over the back, but the last few that I did, when I folded them over the back, it made it too large for the frame, and it just made it a hassle to get it in the frame, and I ended up having to cut it anyway. Did that stay? Yes, get that glue out of here. Yes, that stayed. Okay, good. That's all cut. Let's go and cut this side. And then it should fit in the frame, which is what we're going for. Get it to fit in the frame. Even though I don't know who would put this in a frame and who would use this, but I don't know. I haven't seen it fully complete yet, so maybe I would. Maybe it's mine. I mean, okay, we can keep those for another day. Maybe we can use those for something. Let me just get them out of the way. Get all this stuff out of the way. And those might have glue on the back, so we want to watch out for that. Here's our piece. We did it. We made it this far together. That's cool. Thank you for hanging around. I know that stuff can be a little tedious, but not as tedious as cutting all these out. I'm sure you can imagine. But I'm sure you're interested of why it's like this. You know what? I don't know either. I just made it like this. That's why. No, I'm kidding. I have something here to bring it all together. Now, these are super funny. It's just surreal collage art. It's really funny, but I wanted to get all this food on here, and I got this stuff on my hands. 1 second. I'm going to go wash my hands. Give me 1 second. Voila. I'm back now. All right. My hands are clean. I just had to get that, sticky glue off of them, because when I start to touch the main pieces, I really don't want to mess up the main pieces. It's a little tricky. We did all this. If these got ripped, I had backups and stuff, but now we need to pull out the main pieces. Are you ready to see this come together? Are you ready to see it come together? It's coming together right now. Here it is. Boom. Look at it. Look at this piece. All right, so he's hungry. He's eating his toast. I don't know even what's on his toast. Is it the mustard? Is that mustard toast? I'm not really sure what's on this toast, but I thought it was super funny. I just think his face is hilarious. So I just wanted to bring this together and put all this food and party and all this stuff together and then bring him on there. It's just very eye-popping. And this is a big piece. This is a pretty big piece. Forget the size of these poster boards, but it should fit in our frame, right? As long as the sides are cut properly. But what we need to do is glue it and get him down. So So I don't know, his facial expression's just great. I love it. Let's start with his hand in the toast. It's gonna be down in this corner, and we're just gonna be careful with it. I'm gonna move it over here to the side. I think you can still see this over here to the side, but I'm gonna go real gentle with this because this is the part that really matters. And if it got ripped, that would really suck. We did all this work and we don't want to rip it. And see, the glue sticks, they like to stick to the paper. So I had a little rhythm going with these, maybe like not pushing so hard and just kind of going smooth with it. But, you know, it kind of likes to stick, and then you'll pull it up and it can rip if it was stuck somewhere else or where my hand is holding it. So got to be careful like that right there. Just got to be real careful on these edges. And I think looks like maybe a little more up over here. This little baby, you see that little baby right there? He's laughing. He's laughing at this picture. At least he has a sense of humor. I hope you're laughing too. It's pretty funny. So here we go. He's just going to be right in the corner. Right there. Place it. Boom. That is that. Let's get his big old noggin up here. I'm going to move him around this way. Make sure that his head lines up with the top. And he can kind of be in just like that. That doesn't seem too sticky, so let's go work this around. Make sure we get enough glue on there. Not too much to make it rip, though. You can see the magazine's name, the Ladies' Home Journal. I really like these magazines. They're like some of my favorite. I have some really cool ones that I'll review on this channel that are different than these, but I do have a haul of these ladies' homes journals that I haven't even looked through, but I just love them because they're so big. They're like big magazines, and they're hard to ship. I wouldn't even be shipping those. I'd just say, nope, not shipping them, but I will cut them up into lots of different pieces for collage art, and then maybe sell those off the pieces so people can enjoy the magazines and be able to make their own collage art out of it, but not need to ship the whole big magazine. Like, they're just big. They don't fit in a regular envelope. And all right, his dome's stuck to my head or my hand. Oh, I don't feel any over here on his ear. Oh, it looks like there is some there. Okay, let's get his head lined up. Get his head lined up right about there. Top of his hair. Oh, there it is. Drop him. Drop it. All right. That's the piece. Let's put it in a frame. Let's flip it over real quick. Let's not get too crazy about it until we see it in a frame. We don't really know until it's in a frame. So I have this picture frame right here. So let's go ahead and, what side's up? This side's up. Okay. Still, now I have glue all over my hands again. You know how many times I've been washing my hands? I have to lotion them all the time. Okay, what's in here? It's not anything. Okay, sorry about that noise, you know. Just making sure that that's coming out properly. And then what side's up here? This side's up. Does it fit? Oh, a little bit in this corner. See, that's why. That's why we need to just keep these cut up properly. And I have a little trash. Give me 1 second. Let me just cut off this corner. And that's like our scrap pile. And it looks like, oh, maybe just a little bit here as well on the top. That might be affecting it. Okay, trim the tree. Trimming. Okay, that's the top, right? Okay, it should fit in there right now. Boom, there it goes. We have this little piece, which this is 11 times 14. That's the size of it, right? 11 times 14. Okay. And then the top like goes into the piece, right? Yeah, there it goes. Okay. This is this frame. I believe this is the frame that had like a certificate of completion or something in it. And I was like, oh, I'm just taking it out. I was using it for collage art. I don't care about that certificate. All right. Are you ready to see our new piece of collage art? It's like the 50s food pyramid. I don't know. That we might call that the 50s food pyramid. Check it out. That's just clouding. I love that. It's just wild. I mean, all the food And the triangles, you see how I like to incorporate the triangles like that? Like, I just think it's fun and interesting. It really depends on how you lay it out in the pattern, but I just thought his facial expression was just so funny. And we had to incorporate this hand with the toast. I don't really know what's on that toast, but we got some of the old, jars and stuff to make it look cool of the times. You know what I'm saying? We have some party stuff. There's some balloons and there's some ping pong balls and stuff like that, and just different cuisines of the time from the 50s. So this is what was it, 1955, 70 years old, 70 years old on the time, and from the Ladies Home Journal. Yep, Ladies Home Journal. Yeah, this is a really cool magazine. I love it. But what do you think about this piece? I think it's funny. I really like this, and it was just something different. Just want to make something fun. Some of them are serious, some of them are sexy, some of them are cool, some of them are fast, some of them are just funny. I really like this one. It's funny. I wonder who would put this on their wall. Let me know if you'd put this on your wall. Maybe you'd put it in your man cave, your ladies' den, whatever you call it. Maybe you'd put this like in a fun gaming room. Like, I definitely see it being in a gaming room, or like if you had like an old school theme, like this would go with it. This is a 50s, so if you had that 50s style, I mean, I guess it could go 60s or 40s at the same time. It still of the eras looking like that stuff, but I think the colors are still vibrant and bright, so that's why I love it. His facial expression is just awesome, and then we tried to incorporate some of the food and party elements in the background. So hey, if you like this piece of surreal collage art, make sure to give it a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you in the next one.